Hey guys, so for today's class, it's going to be a very short class. Till now we have seen how do I make an equation for a chemical reaction, right? We saw how to make an equation and how do I balance everything in that equation. Today we will look at how do I add more information to that same equation. Okay, how do I make it more informative? Now we'll talk about four major things when we talk about information. One more thing which I'll add in the last. We'll go one by one for each with examples to make you understand. Okay, the first thing is physical states. We know matter comes in three states: solids, liquids and gases, right? So we can show all of these states whenever it comes to a chemical reaction. There's also something called aqueous, which I'll explain in a bit. Okay, so I can say solid, liquid, gas and aqueous. Okay, so I'll give you an example for a reaction here, which is formation of water. So for that reaction, this is how we write it: H2 plus O2 gives rise to okay. So this is the balanced equation for that formation. Two hydrogens, one oxygen gives two water molecules. Now I don't know yet hydrogen is in which state of matter. So when I mention that, that means I have told about the physical state. We know hydrogen is a gas, right? So I'm just going to write a small g in brackets below H. Same goes for oxygen, which is also a gas. We know water is a liquid, so since it condenses as a liquid, I will write as small l over there. Okay. So any reaction we can put them as H, G, L, S or AQ. AQ is nothing but whenever you get a liquid solution, we call it as an aqueous. A solution is called AQ. Right? Now we'll move to the next one, heat change. So we also saw yesterday how heat can be either created in the reaction or taken, or the reaction will need heat. The first reaction, calcium oxide, it will generate heat, right? The beaker becomes hot. So in heat change we'll have two types of reactions: endothermic and exothermic. Endothermic reactions will be needing heat, so you need to heat them like you're cooking, and exothermic will make heat, they become hot on their own. Simple examples: burning of coal or carbon, right? So how we burn coal, which is a form of carbon. So that is how carbon dioxide gas is produced. Okay, now this is an exothermic reaction because it generates heat, right? So whenever it generates heat, we write it as plus Q. Okay, exothermic, it will create heat that we use from the coal. Now I can also mention the states of matter over here. Gas, CO2 again gas. Okay, Q is nothing but heat. Same way, when nitrogen gas reacts with oxygen gas in certain conditions, it will get converted into nitrous oxide, which is another gas. But this reaction needs heat, so I will say minus Q because it is taking heat. Okay, so we call this as endothermic. Endo and exo, just one word. Okay. Now, this is the second one. Third one is gases evolved. So sometimes what happens when we do a reaction, a gas will be created. Like we saw how metals and acids will give me a gas. So I'll just give you an example of the same. If I take zinc metal, which is a solid, and I add it to sulfuric acid, which is a liquid, right? What happens is I get something called zinc sulfate plus hydrogen gas. Okay, so for gas what we can write is we can write it as G, but another way is we can put an arrow up because the gas is leaving. Okay, it is a gas that is generated and is leaving the reaction, so we write it as an upward arrow because that's where gas goes. Zinc sulfate we can write it as aqueous or we can write it as met solid also, depends on how your reaction goes. Okay, simple gas evolved, upward facing arrow. Finally, we have something called as precipitates. I'm going to write that a little towards the top. So we saw that whenever some solid is created and it settles down, like how we saw that white colored precipitate in that reaction. So whenever a precipitate is created, how do I denote it in the equation? So I'll give you another example of silver nitrate, okay, plus sodium chloride, which is common salt. Both are aqueous because we need them in solutions. Once they react, it will create silver chloride, which is a precipitate. Okay, for a precipitate we put downward facing arrow. We can also write it as S, right? But to make it more specific, we write it as a downward facing arrow plus sodium nitrate, which is not a precipitate. But silver chloride precipitate, you will see it as like a silvery colored like solid. Okay. So these are the four major ways that we can denote information in reactions. Okay, physical states, heat change, gas evolved, and precipitates. Now there's one more thing called as catalysts. Okay, which is the name of our program, catalyst. It comes from this word, catalysts and conditions. So sometimes our reactions need specific things to work. Okay, not always you can add two chemicals and expect them to work. For example, endothermic, we need to heat that reaction, we need to put it on a flame or something for it to work. Okay, so for these kind of reactions, how do I denote it? Okay, simple example, one thing I can give it to you is for a catalyst. So there is a reaction where there is something called methane. Okay, it reacts with chlorine in the presence of sunlight. Okay, without sunlight that reaction doesn't happen. Okay, it creates something called CH3Cl plus HCl. Okay, so on the arrow when I write something, it means that is a catalyst. Okay, it is going to speed up that reaction. That is what a catalyst will do. It will make a reaction happen faster. Okay, that is a catalyst. Other than this, there are certain conditions also that can be. For example, some reactions need electric discharge. Some reactions might need, again, sunlight. Another very good example for sunlight would be photosynthesis, right? Where oxygen and carbon dioxide and water, yes, carbon dioxide and water will combine, create sugar and oxygen gas. That is how plants work. Okay, so that can be another good way to show these catalysts or these conditions, right? So this is all for today. Major 4 conditions, this is just an add-on for you. Okay, that is all for now. It's a very simple, easy class theory. I hope you understood, and I'll see you in the next video.